This is our super cheap Porsche 924, which last episode we supercharged. Now we just need to fix everything else. I may have rounded that bolt off back there.
No, don't do that to us, Jack.
Last time this happened to someone, it then sat in a field for 20 years.
Our first job was to do all the brakes and bearings, as we had a sneaky suspicion that having seized wheels wasn't helping our 924's performance.
We have new pistons, shoes, adjusters, and a new bearing, because the bearings are a bit shit.
First job we went to do, Edwin started cleaning.
Yeah, right. I don't like working on dirty bits.
True. I do forget this has been parked in a field for 20 years, so blow it out, please.
So blow away, Sonny. A nut of some sort, retaining clips, some nipples, and new pistons. These all came from Heritage as well. They sent these over as part of the kit that they sent us. Big shout out to them.
We might have to take these out first.
Okay, why?
I may have rounded that bolt off back there.
Did you put passion into it?
I was somewhat passionate about getting it off, yeah.
So then what would you say?
Mistakes made.
That's the one. Very good, Jack. Goodbye. That is part of what was probably robbing us from horsepower, because this one was stuck on the whole time. There we go. Jesus.
That thing's not had a good time. But yeah, when we took it to RPM Technic, they clocked that
Seized.
straight away.
Completely seized one.
It's no good, so we bought new bearings as well.
If we could have done a disc conversion, we would have, but we didn't have time
It's
for
actually
it.
really difficult.
It's really annoying. Oh, love to see it.
It's a boy.
Right, drive shaft time. Oh, you got it? Nice.
Yeah, this was a good move, guys. Obviously, I'm not sure what colour it was when it was installed, but
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't that colour.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The only grease I know that's that colour is copper grease, and I can't see any copper in there.
No, this was a good idea then.
Your lens is covered in shit. Like you need to. There we go. Straight into your balls, Cole. That was a good aim.
Oh, mate, and it's cooked in there. Not nice.
Old wheel bearing out, I greased up the new one ready to go in.
Why are you filming me?
Because you're cleaning.
I'm only cleaning because it's needed.
Oh, were you going to see that?
It's not about seeing it, it's about sending a message, okay? To the wheel bearing. This has to clean up so it's mated nicely. You wouldn't know anything about that.
Hey, I've mated nicely.
You have mated nicely. You've got two wonderful kids. Ethan, can I draw your attention to something?
No, those are my gate shoes.
This isn't a very fun job putting this in, so I might delegate this to you.
Kyle took it out, I cleaned it, so you should put it in.
Oh! Fine. Yeah, you're joking, mate. We want this to work. That's what a good drive shaft sounds like. Ooh, look at that. You see me get my finger in there like that?
Right, you've put your finger in holes before.
Yeah.
New bearing fitted nicely, we got to work putting everything else back together.
Oh, is that satisfying for you, Ethan?
Yeah.
We've got new brake shoes. Look at them compared to our old ones though. Trash. I hate this.
Very nice work, Jack.
Good work, good
Very
teamwork.
nice.
You see that? Even with Ethan trying to get in the way.
Nice, good work on that.
It looks good, doesn't it?
It does.
Don't know what we took this up to. Also, surprisingly hard to find talk specs for a 924.
Yeah.
But thankfully we are actually part of the 924
Yeah.
owners group, so they have all the
Alex
information.
from the 94 Owners Club messaged us. I was like, you're going to need this.
Yeah.
And sent us a login to their forum, which has all of the technical documents. So sick. So massive thank you to them. They're a good bunch. They helped us already with a lot of stuff.
Driver's side done, we quickly sorted the passenger side, ready to cross another item off of our list.
We can actually cross something off of the list.
Another thing.
Let's go and do that.
Oh, hello.
Brakes done.
Compared to before,
Yeah.
when we couldn't even spin the thing,
And we need to drop it down and
talk it up.
talk it up.
Give it talking to. Compared to,
Christ.
Maybe there's a seized caliper or something. So I think
Yeah.
we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Let's do it. He doesn't actually hold a gun though, does he? That's what he does.
I'm Mike Myers. Before we take this off, I'm just going to check that these slide pins actually come out. That one's out. That one's out. Pretty cool way that this way, it's like a modern Brembo system. The slide pins come out and you can take the whole the caliper out without the carrier. So you can take the pads out now. Kind of Porsche. Maybe this is a real Porsche. Oh God, those are...
Are they fused on?
Well, I mean, kind of should have seen that coming with the fact that we can't even turn the wheel.
Yeah, actually, when you put two and two together, it does make sense.
I think we'll take the whole carrier off.
Yeah.
Let's crack the brake line loose. Speaking of brake lines...
You didn't.
Some nice new brake lines. No more sponge. Man, it's almost like I've got an understanding of brake calipers at this point.
No, that was your training. That was like your
Oh, that was my, yeah.
They're all watching over you as well.
They're all saying to this caliper, join us. Excuse me.
Don't need that where we're going. So there we go. That would imply that
Yeah, it was
the
off.
caliper was our problem.
Yeah.
You had a phone call. It was in your pocket. No, I think your other pocket.
Oh, my wife, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to put that into context?
There is no context. I just have a child's toy phone in my pocket.
You have children, right?
Yeah, I have children. I do.
Oh, wow.
How cool is that?
And that's threaded.
Yeah.
Whatever next, Porsche. I mean, they made this 40 years ago.
Yeah, they made a lot of good stuff since then. You know what time it is, right?
Ethan had to run to Halfords this morning to get another tin of this because you'd used the last one in what, 3 days?
Yeah. Look at it go. It's unrivaled. And it smells fantastic.
They should sponsor you.
They really should.
What is this? So three in one, yeah?
Reach out. I'll rep it till the day I die.
They probably don't need to sponsor you because you're like putting their
will-
kids through college with the
Yeah,
amount that you buy of this shit.
Look at that. Come off it, Ethan.
Don't ever speak to me or my brake disc ever again.
Hub sparkling, we put the new front discs on and then started to rebuild the seized calipers.
I'm going to rebuild the caliper. We've got a load of new seals, gaskets, rubbers, put it back together and it should go nicely. Here's our nice new piston.
I mean, look at that. Do you know what's funny? Here's one they made earlier. Did you get that?
However,
What's the think of that one?
Can I?
you can. Yeah, the pads are in and yet it spins.
God, how sick of brakes are we?
Yes. But we're getting them done early. Let's get this last brake line done. It's already pissing, and then we can tick that off. The car is on the floor. The brakes work. Oh, it's in gear, but still, look, that
we can
didn't
rock
happen
it back
before.
and forward. Well, that means we have to consult the list. Front calipers,
Rebuilt.
done? Yeah?
Done.
Brake lines.
We've done the brake lines. Let's come back Thursday morning, day of the dyno,
Yep.
take it for a drive, and then let's take it there.
Now it should be at this point that we took the 924 for its first ever supercharged maiden voyage. But first thing on Thursday morning, Edwin and Kyle took the 924 up and down a private road to check everything over, which is when we found something very, very bad. That sound you can hear is a badly slipping clutch, which means that our dyno run would effectively be pointless. To get a better idea of what was wrong, we went to pop the bonnet, but in return, we were haunted by the 924's original problem.
No. Don't do that to us, Jack.
The bonnet cable's not returned.
No, that's gone.
Another bonnet release has decided to stop working again. Last time this happened to someone, it then sat in a field for 20 years. If we have to cut into this new bonnet, I'm going to be so pissed.
I'm going to be very angry.
But more bad news. We have a slipping clutch. We're going to have to do that before we go to the dyno.
Well, let's just pop the bonnet and change the pull the bell housing out. Oh, whoops.
Can't. Broken.
Back in the garage we go.
Feeling deflated by the fact that we were about to pull the gearbox when we should have been on a dyno enjoying the 924's rebirth, we decided to share our news with Ethan.
Hello. He knows. Yeah, we went for first drive today.
Was it good?
It was good, and then the clutch started slipping. Here's the thing, we were then driving it, and I was gonna get Jack to have a go at it, and I was like, let's pop the bonnet and change the battery, because the alternator's being a bit weird. Jack, do you want to pop the bonnet quickly? I'll show Ethan.
I would love to, but unfortunately, I can't.
Guys, we can't keep buying bonnets.
The other option that we did discuss is park it in a field for 20 years. What's your thought on that?
That sounds cheaper. Alright, bye.
Goodbye. Why do we do first test drives an hour before the dyno?
Because we're idiots. Just to recap what we've done on this car, yeah? In hopes that we could actually be able to drive it around, supercharge it, and brakes.
Right, let's get this thing in the air, let's go.
I hate it.
Not happy at all, we decided that it wasn't even worth us messing up the bonnet latch even more, so we drafted Kyle in, who, as usual, came to our rescue.
Oh! You just have you done it?
Oh my good God, Kyle.
This is just what he does.
Thank you, Kyle.
That was very stressful.
For saving this bonnet. Right, let's bring it down and we can see what's happened. Just trying to shove it in the hole, but it just won't fit. Please. All we're trying to do is help this car, and it fights us. Fix the bonnet on it, and it's like, don't want it. Don't want that bonnet cable, actually, mate. Keep it. Also, my bonnet's closed. Don't ever open me again. Why?
Oh, hey, wait.
Got it.
It just slipped out. We've all been there, haven't we? Oh, my bodge failed.
Bodge failed. So the cable that goes in here and was trapped by this was no longer being trapped by this. So the cable just went whoop when we tried to pull it.
Can I just point out how ingenious this was as well? So this originally was a screw that put the tension on it, but it all rotted out and it just wasn't doing anything. So I got a little pin and I held it in place with a Jubilee clip and it broke. And now we're in this situation.
Could happen to the best of us.
So Edwin is underneath the car.
Hello.
Edwin will be underneath the car shortly. He's going to take the exhaust off so that we can get to the clutch. And while I'm doing that, instead of like just stood around twiddling my thumbs, I'm going to address the horribleness that we have going on in the positive battery terminal, because this don't fly, does it? It's not cool.
Let's go. Right.
I'll crack on. I love wiring.
I'm gonna crack on too and start getting these exhaust bolts off. Crack, am I right?
Never hit that Super Crack Ultra.
Jack,
What?
do you want a present?
Oh, please, this better be good and
Hand
not...
up by the alternator.
Oh, brilliant. It's not even that bad a state. How did you snap this?
Don't get too upset yet. I've still got one to go, so.
Brilliant, okay.
Oh, hello. There was a chunk of metal in there.
That chocolate, in fact, came from BC. Yeah. BC sent us an advent.
How sick's that?
So how good is that? And one, we're going to do properly, and the other, we just tore open like animals.
Yeah. But actually, by the time this video comes out, it'll be like Christmassy. So therefore, we're behind. Let's get eating. Nice. Good job. Right, let's take off the inspection plate. See if we can see any oil contamination.
It just looks dry as a bone in there, doesn't it?
Dry as a bone, which would just imply that we just got a bit of a clutch slip. So we're just making too much power already. Wow! Does imply that. Does imply that it's making way more torque at the beginning, so it's just going woo! So a torque tube is pretty simple. It sends torque down a tube to the gearbox at the back. So we need to pop the torque tube out and then get the clutch out.
This isn't going to be an issue at all.
Don't.
I'm not worried about any of it. Amazingly, thanks to the clutch slipping, we're going to have to take the gearbox out somewhat.
So our whole thing about like, oh cool, torque tube means you don't even have to take the gearbox out.
Wrong. And this is going to come out like butter.
Oh, okay. Oh, big.
Oh my God,
Huge.
did you see the size of me just then? I was like twice the size of my regular size.
It's got a broken head, so someone has been in there before and snapped it off, which means it is threaded into the hub still, which means even though it's loose, it won't come off.
All you do is you go and supercharge a car that's been sat for 20 years and then all these other issues
It's
come
not
up.
much to ask.
No.
Oh, hello.
Would you look at that? See that?
That is what they call in the business.
This is for the gear linkage that goes to the gearbox, and it's very fiddly to get out, but thankfully, if you look here, Ben, what I was able to do, where our gearbox mount is absolutely so mashed, I was just able to thread it straight through the middle of it to get it out. So
Thank you to Time for that one. Big shout out to you. Quite underrated in the game.
yeah.
It was then time to disconnect the gear linkage, which turned out to be much more challenging than we were expecting.
We've been trying to hammer this one linkage apart for 2 hours.
This gearbox is ready to come out.
The gearbox is right, all the bolts are out.
It's the shifter rod, it slips into the linkage out on the gearbox, and then a grub screw goes in. Theoretically, when this car was brand new, you wind that grub screw up and it slips out. I think that someone has done this years ago and they haven't put the rubber boot back over the linkage, and it's just swollen up and it's rotten and it's just fused together.
Adam's induction machine that probably heated that up to what, 800-900 degrees or more, wasn't enough to get it out.
And hammering on it.
This is so demoralising.
I bet you as soon as this gearbox comes out, he's gonna want to clean it. I bet you lunch.
It's ready.
Is that out?
Yep.
Do you want to raise the car up off it?
Yeah.
Hello, gearbox, you piece of shit.
There we go. Also, not the thing we even needed to change because the clutch is not in there.
It's not even down this end.
It's not even this end. We just
It's
had
up there.
to bring the gearbox out so we could pull the tube out. But we wanted to get the gearbox out so we can clean it up and make it nice anyway.
I bet you as soon as this gearbox comes out, he's gonna want to clean it.
You owe me lunch.
Kyle came back and had a go at taking this out and somehow managed to do it. I don't know what form of animal hands he has, but no human hand could get it off and no human tool could get it off.
I think he made some sort of satanic ritual.
There's a blood oath on this car
Yeah,
now.
there is. Because there's no other way of just coming out. Not God willing.
I feel like clutch is worthy of being on the list.
Now that's true, but it's not on the list. I'll tell you something that is on the list. Gearbox fluid. You guys will know and will know that gearbox fluid means an entire clutch job. Right, let's pull this a bit further out, clean it up. We can pull out, talk to you about. This is a nice explanation of how stupid the system is. They just ran a tube through the bell housing, which means to take off the gearbox, you have to take this out from the inside through this little hole. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it? I want to have whatever they were smoking when they looked in the parts bin and made this up.
With me removing the clutch cable, Edwin decided it would be a prime opportunity to do some more cleaning.
Edwin, do you want to pull that end and we'll see what happens?
Is there any danger of you doing anything about that to help?
I'm just trying to observe. Just have a look.
You know what this is desperately asking for? Just a chunky, like a 4 8-inch rear end with like an LS up front.
I want to do... We're going to have to bleep that, but trust us guys, it was funny.
Yeah, like that. There we go. That should be enough to get the spousing off.
We've got these bolts around the bell housing, but we can't get the top one undone. It's just a bit tricky.
SSX really was one of the best games of all
SSX
time.
Tricky was a banger, wasn't it? 100%. I've got a higher score in SSX Tricky.
No,
than you have.
absolutely.
I
you do not.
promise you.
I
promise you.
promise you that I have more skill than you.
Hi, my name's Jack. I'm from Essex. I'm laying underneath a 924. In my spare time, I like to get rust in my eyes.
There's a stubborn bolt in the bell housing.
The last one.
The last one. It's just very tight.
It's very tight. Now it's thick enough that it should, in theory, not snap.
No. It's not that bad.
That's a gearbox bolt.
Yeah, it's not
It's
that
in
bad.
the back of the block.
What's done is done.
This is so true, and that, you know what this is more than anything?
It's cars.
It's cars. This is cars.
This is cars. I'm helping. Is it caught on the stud?
It's caught on the
oh
snap
no,
bolt.
you're joking.
Hold on, have we? Is that another bolt head?
Oh, yeah, no, it is.
Jack Joy's done it. There we are. There we go.
Doesn't really look that
doesn't look that bad.
Doesn't look that bad. Oh, that doesn't look too happy though.
No, the pressure plate's not that nice.
No, that's bad.
And our release bearing, a bit stiff.
I bet it was that.
Well, if we wanted to do a release bearing, we have to pull the thing off
Have to
anyway.
put it off anyway, yeah.
Clean them up. Put the clutch back in. Here you go. A bowl for you if you'd like
you.
to
Oh,
have some cereal
thank
or something. Flywheel isn't in too bad condition.
Just lighten it.
It'd be nice. It'd be lovely if we could. We'll see if maybe we can get it skinned, but most likely we just throw this back in.
Yeah.
The next morning, we arrived early to settle the previous day's debate, and once we sorted that, we got right back to work.
So I was just grabbing your shoe then, don't know why I was doing that. Do you need this?
Can I get a size 15, please?
Yeah. Oh. You're not a size 15 foot, are you?
I'm a 13 and a half.
Oh my God, what massive socks you must have.
Oh. Very nice, Jack.
I'm not taking the credit for that. That was Adam's thinking that got us out of that bind.
All right, new pilot bearing in, stick the clutch in. Pilot bearing is in with a little bit of persuasion. So now it is time
For rear main.
for the rear main seal, the issue that has been sullying this car.
I've given this rear main a really good talking to. I'm just gonna have one last chat. Come out with me. I'll treat you nice.
Look how big that rear main seal is. That thing's built to take a couple thousand horsepower.
I think I could crawl through the centre of that.
Ethan, what did we eat last night?
We all went for a curry.
Christmas curry.
Ethan ordered a chicken tikka fowl and it turned up with a bucket and a frozen loo roll.
Part of the reason we think that our clutch might have been slipping is the release bearing, which is what your clutch actually operates. When you push your clutch, this is what releases the clutch and pushes it in. On our bell housing, wherever it's gone, it wasn't coming back nicely. It was very, very stiff, so we think it might have been riding the clutch a bit. And secondly, this, what was in there before, which is actually quite a new clutch, it looks quite nice, but these are organic clutches. So that means that they've got organic fibers in there, which means they can soak up oil. So if perhaps there's been a rear main seal that's been gently leaking for the last 20 years, this guy right here is what's going to have sucked up all of the oil. When you then start trying driving it, it starts slipping. We're going to swap it out and see if that might be the difference. But also organic means we're going to have to run it in a little bit.
Yeah, no, we're going to
So we're
figure
gonna
out how to do that.
I think we're just going to have to leave it on the lift and just bang some gears.
It's amazing that this thing's going to look this bad, but underneath actually be
pretty
very
solid.
decent. Yeah.
Right, rear main in, let's get this car back together and go for a drive.
Right, we're in. In with the new seal.
Now, thankfully, I can just gently with my thumb move it back so it can actuate nicely, but also nice and clean. Another thing, rebuilt, back in the car.
Now we need to put a starter in, and then we're on to the
Fitting the gearbox.
to the main event, which is the gearbox.
The thing that most people would have done by now.
It was now time to begin the tricky task of putting the entire gearbox back into the car. And despite us making it look relatively easy in this footage, it turned out to be a job that pushed us close to driving this car into the sea.
I've just finished up on that side. Would you like to see how many washers we've had left over? The only thing we replaced was the clutch, which had no washers and nuts and things.
I'm hoping none.
Ready? No, I'm joking, that's the rest of them.
What? No. No, you are joking.
That is all of the washers that I've just found at the front of this car.
Well, we can't leave it like that. What are you talking about? Is that since we've been working on it, or just this job?
I think it's mostly this job.
That's like all of them. I don't know, because we put a bolt in every place that there was.
Well, that's from the brakes, so that's fine.
I don't know what to say about that, really. Just
It's in. Let her eat.
Let her eat. We've got everything in, got everything buttoned up, so now it's time where we put the exhaust on and run it and realise that we've missed something and we have to take it all out again. Yeah?
Jack, you put the clutch in.
We put the exhaust in, and that concluded days of excruciating pain changing the clutch. It was now time to turn it over and see if it had actually worked.
I think it's that starter motor getting gummed up again. Oh, hello.
How are you doing?
Jack, do you want to try?
Should we try putting it in gear?
Put it in gear and just see if it moves backwards or forwards.
Oh!
That's
That was backwards. Forwards.
very good.
Yes!
After a wobbly start of getting the Porsche going and the gearbox seemingly to be working, we spent some time on the lift bedding in the new clutch. Things were starting to look up, and we even managed to solve a misfire problem. However, after trying to restart the Porsche after turning it off, we hit yet another massive problem.
You should be seeing us driving this now. I was about to say for the first time, but the first time went badly. We should be driving it for the second time,
Yeah.
but we can't.
You should at least be seeing us start it, but we now can't because...
If I turn the key, we've now got 12 volts, a little bit low, but we should be able to go. That is the starter motor being so gummed up that we just cannot get it to go. It is boiling hot as well, which is an issue we had with this car when we first bought it. We put a new starter in it and it's happened again. We can't get it going. We can't go for a drive yet. So unfortunately, this is what you're going to see for the end of this video.
It has broken me.
Yeah,
I think it has.
I've spent the last 4 days cursing this car.
Yeah, cursing the 2 bell housings it has.
And then also the gearbox. Either side.
Cursing these 2 bells.
These 2 bells.
Well, honestly, we're not purposefully teasing you. We had every intention of taking this out. 'Cause I want to experience it.
Jack hasn't even driven it
I
yet.
want to drive it hard as well. It's gutting. And also, for our plan, we want to take it back to the dyno, beat 70 brake horsepower, which I'm sure we'll do.
We will.
And we have a new suspension on the way for it, and we had new wheels, which may or may not have turned up, and they're very good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're pretty
So
cool.
this video is being filmed on Tuesday. If you're watching it on a Wednesday, that is the day after Tuesday. We had to get this video out and ready, so apologies.
Yeah.
But not only is this YouTube, and what happens on YouTube, this is cars.
This is especially cars when the cars that you're dealing with have been sat in a field for 20 years, and you think, yeah, sure, I'll just
This'll
throw some brake pads in it and she'll be mint. No.
So Carl's over there trying to rebuild our old starter motor to see if there was something doable with that. But for now,
Click here if you want to subscribe, down there for more videos. All right, let's get back underneath this thing, I guess.
one for luck.
One for luck.
One for luck.
Starts up. No.
No.